Morning. I'd like to share with you a passage, really just a touchstone from 2 Kings 5. You like that? 2 Kings 5. I suppose you can hit pause and go look it up and read it if you want, but I'm going to recap it in just a second. I love this story. It's such a fabulous story. But my wife was talking with her sister on the phone yesterday, and they were talking about it, and her sister asked my wife about this passage. And isn't there a story in the Bible where? And so for my wife, there's a touchstone, just one thing to touch on in the story. And that's an entirely appropriate way of using a story, just to touch one little tiny place in the story. Jesus did it. He used this same story. He touched just one little piece of information that's inside the story to prove a point, a good theological point. Oh, it's interesting enough. So my wife asked me about this touchstone and suggested that I share it. And so here I am. But I have to tell you a little bit about the story before I can tell you the touchstone. So the story is about a powerful general who has a disease, and he discovers that in a foreign land there's a cure for the disease. So he asks his king, his commander, another powerful man, if he can go. And so his king gives him a letter so that he can go talk with the king in a powerful land, in the foreign land. And so he goes and talks with the king in the foreign land, and of course there's all kinds of intrigue. But then he gets referred to the prophet in this land so that he might be healed. And after all this moving around, he comes to the prophet's home, and well, he has all these expectations about what the prophet's going to do for him. And the prophet shelters in place. Doesn't even come out. Well, you can read the rest of the story for yourself. The general is cured. The prophet sends instructions out. There's that touchstone, shelters in place. There's another touchstone that follows it, because the instructions to this powerful general by the powerful prophet, the instructions are to wash repeatedly. There's another touchstone. I thought that was interesting. And there's another touchstone not too far around the corner. After he's cured, the general, he wants to be able to worship this God that cures him. And his way of thinking is that this God must be resident in the soil of this foreign land. So he wants to take some back to where he's most familiar, his own land, so that he can worship the God that he knows in this new land. Where and how we worship, we can carry it from the places we come to know God to the places where God needs to be. And one more, because I always have to do one more. You know me, it's a sort of a Columbo moment. One more thing. In this story, when you read it in 2 Kings 5, when you read it, you'll discover that there are a whole bunch of people, not powerful people. They don't seem to be the focus of the story, but there are many of them. Just really regular, faithful people some that are named, some described, some that are just simply understood by the actions of everything else that go on around them, hidden from the story. Those are the people whose faithfulness made God's work happen. Bethlehem, be in the world. Peace.